Yeah, I kind of wish they had
We're
gone
here.
more
We
into that.
exist.
But
we exist.
the live action version has all it looks bad.
Yeah, it does.
They've, I should write a blog post. I shouldn't interrupt D&D with this rant. Done ranting. No mermaids in this dungeon. Let's get back to it. You guys are in the exact opposite of Under the Sea in here.
It seems like we're in a Grimm's fairy tale, to be honest.
But yeah.
Yeah, this
Quite a
whole
bit.
mirror
We're
dimension
inside a
is-
magic mirror.
So I think somebody had an idea before break, and then we didn't actually get a chance to expound on it too much.
I know it was
You
Yeah,
saw a
we
metal
found a-
shape deep in the smoking pool.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So I'm not sure how we can. Okay, so Jeannie's going to reach into her. She's going to say, be ready for the yelling," and she's going to reach into her pack and pull out a length of rope
Okay.
and start tying it into a noose.
The rope in your pack has started to uncoil on its own. I believe it's forming a noose. I'm going to make sure it doesn't lash any of your necks.
Good man.
Jeannie says, "Thank you."
Mr. Sedgwick. Good man, Mr. Sedgwick.
Yeah, that's got to be so disturbing to be in that room right now.
Yeah, we at least owe him a good bottle of brandy after we're done with this, if we do survive.
Jeannie goes, "Oh, okay, I can take care of that." She reaches into her bag and pulls out a good bottle of brandy from that train thing, and she sets it on the floor.
And he yells about how a bottle of brandy has rolled out of your pack and he's going to replace it.
Oh well, he missed opportunity on him. All right. So can we? Well, we don't have Orson. I don't think there's like. I don't think all of us together are strong enough to lift.
There's 5 of us.
We can try. We'll do a pulley system.
I think every single one of us has noodle arms. Actually, I think I might have. Speaking of, hold on. I have a block and tackle in my bag of holding.
Do
Well,
you?
we don't have
Yes,
time
I
to
do.
set that up.
Okay.
What do you mean? Just tie it around this? I can mage hand the noose around the dog.
Yeah, I have a block and tackle, so I pull a block and tackle out of my bag and holding.
Okay.
Meanie, why do you have that?
Why not?
Why would she have that?
I'm glad she does.
For exactly this situation.
All right,
Yeah. I have.
that's answered.
So, Jeannie, you take a few moments to do some engineering work. You lower the coil of rope into the water. And fishing around for a moment, you find a long, thin part of the metal structure below that you can easily loop the rope in and get a good, snug fit. When you pull back, it pulls taut. So it'll take some work, but I mean, you've got equipment, you've got 5 pairs of hands.
Yeah.
We're 5 adults. I'm sure we can do this.
All of us have little noodle arms, though.
As it breaks the water, the thing is made out of metal, but no part of it is rusted. And the part that comes out first is the ass and the tail and the rope that you've coiled around its back leg. And you realize that it's not a dog, but a horse. Only the back half of it. The back 2 legs, the tail, and it's split in the middle of its torso. And you
So we
get
just pulled a horse.
get the giant thing up onto the floor, and it's hollow inside. It's just like the outer skin, as though someone were making a metal casing of a horse.
Did we just pull a metal horse's ass out of this pool?
You did.
We did.
Well, I wonder if there's a metal horse's head in the other pool.
Was this like a
Let's go look.
costume?
Guess maybe we have to set up a similar rig over here then.
I mean, if it's hollow, my first thought is it's like the torture device.
I mean, if you
Could
put
be.
somebody inside this horse and lowered them into this boiling water, I should really you should be making them make a horror check focused on you for even suggesting such a thing.
Evie is the torturer.
This is how Evie's going to deal with troublemakers going forward in the village.
Yeah, Evie wants one of these.
There's a second shape in the bottom of this pool. And after a few moments, you lower the rope down. You find another long metallic structure to get a good grip on it. Get your equipment set back up. You heave the thing up. And sure enough, it's the front end of a horse. A stallion with its mane and split in the center of the torso.
So, the obvious thing is we put these two things together, yes?
Yeah, so it can come to life and kill us.
Genie,
Probably.
you
I
think
mean, if it
no,
does,
well,
then...
maybe it'll come to life and be our friend.
I mean, nothing else in here has been our friend.
So, looking at it, Genie, on the inside of the torso, there look to be some number, maybe a dozen on each side, a dozen metal fittings where the thing could slide together and kind of hold its shape where it could then be welded.
Ah, okay. I don't have any way to weld this, but
That sounds
We're
like
in a forge.
sounds like a complicated job that would take a lot of time.
Even without a weld, if you put the two pieces together, they would lean into each other and the thing would be supported on its own weight. They wouldn't topple.
all right. Edmont, come over here and help me with this side. Victor and Ekon.
Yep.
You grab the other side.
Oh, I thought you were
Evie,
putting
do me a-
Victor in the horse.
No, Evie, please stand to the side.
Side.
It like over here against the wall, out of the way, far away. There you go. There you go. All right, come on.
The thing immediately eats Evie.
Not yet.
Are any of you
He's
trained
so
in animal
protective of
handling?
Evie. I think Edmund is.
Edmont?
Yeah, I'm trained in animal handling.
Edmont, make
Oh,
me
good.
an intelligence animal handling check.
Okay.
This was his specialty for a while. He wanted to do all the animal stuff.
What, building
Yep.
horses?
Can I assist because this is a mechanical horse?
No. Not, if you're not trained in animal handling, you cannot exist. It's also not mechanical, it's just an inert shell. There's no actual
I've
mechanism
got
to it.
guidance though.
Guidance, you can
Okay,
cast guidance.
I'll take a D4 then. Let's see, that's 15. 18.
So you're watching as you pull the horses out. There's something you don't like about the structure, like something that seems off. The detail and craftsmanship of the actual object is fairly good. And as far as even anatomical accuracy, which is to say, this horse hangs dong. And it takes you until Edmont and Genie get the thing together that you realize what's been bothering you is, depending on what this horse was used for, if this is not a wild horse, it should have horseshoes on its feet, and it doesn't. Just metal hooves with no shoes.
Well, like if that's what if what's her face if Evie's theory is that this is a torture device of some kind, then I guess that would make sense. But
Were there horseshoes among the items I was inventorying in the?
Yeah, lots of common metal items. You're certain you've come across a couple of horseshoes.
I mean, I'll just grab some horseshoes and toss them to Genie.
All right.
I'm not a farrier, but I suppose this is metal.
I guess
Whatever.
you should roll
I
the
mean-
hit to see if you actually get a ringer or not.
I think you actually are a farrier, Genie. I think that would be what your work would be described as.
A farrier.
I mean, could these be fit on this horse?
Yeah. The horse itself is life size. Half of it's the size of a large dog.
I
give me
also
some-
grab some matching nails and a hammer. Though I'm sure Genie has her own.
yeah, I pull out my
I mean, I
black.
figure this would be like Edmont's thing to do.
I mean, sure. Yeah, Edmont probably knows how to do it.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Can Edmont and I work together to do this?
Yeah, you can take 2 legs.
All right.
After
Come on,
a few
Edmont.
minutes,
Yep.
you find that the steel of the hoof itself is very thin, and pounding a nail through it takes a little bit of extra effort, but not as much as you were expecting. And no sooner do you get the horseshoe in place that the tips of the nails coming up through the hollow innard of the leg, they feel very hot for a moment, and you realize that they've bent inward so as not to come out.
Oh.
Okay.
And then the horse begins to move. Its tail begins to twitch. And its head rocks back and forth, throwing the strands of its metal mane this way and that. And it wickers
horse
in
had
its
begun-
hollow, metallic way.
The horse had begun to move. I feel asleep. Sorry.
So,
Robo
question.
horse.
Is it still so? It's like the front end of the horse is moving and the butt end is moving, but they're not attached.
No, you guys have attached them in the center.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not welded down the middle. But
Right, so,
you guys
like,
have
if
set
it-
it up and leaned them against each other, and that's when Edmont noticed that the thing was not wearing horseshoes.
All right.
Yes,
Who's
we
a-
hammer the other nails on, other horseshoes on.
Well, all four have been hammered at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Who's a good horsey? They're there. And I pat it on the nose.
And it shakes its head for a moment, leading into the pats.
Oh.
Is it based on my experience with horses? Does this seem to be acting like a normal horse would?
More or less.
You made a friend.
You said that the nails like bent inward on once you hammered them into place.
Once the horseshoes
Yeah,
were
but-
hammered into place, the horseshoe got very hot, and you realize that the metal on the inside has bent inward to hold the horseshoes on.
Evie, do you want to try hammering the two seams together?
You're talking to the wrong twin.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Genie.
Yeah, Jeannie, do you want to try hammering the two seams together with nails?
Genie like looks at you and says, "I still do not. It's been decades, Ekon. I do not understand. I have red hair. She has black hair. We're not visibly. Yeah, she hammers, as she's like complaining as she does this.
Right.
Make a... Let's call this Dexterity Blacksmithing Tools.
Good. Take guidance.
Oh, okay. Well, this is going to be a very high roll, I imagine, because I get expertise on tools.
Okay.
Where is my actual? It's a dexterity, right? Okay, so that's a +9. So, 17 plus 9 is 16, and I can add a flash of genius if the 16 doesn't do it.
If you want.
Don't you mean 26?
No, 21.
21?
Yep, 21.
This is not how the device is supposed to be secured. Obviously, the metal joints were supposed to be there to hold the thing in place and flush with each other as you went around creating welds. However, you managed to improvise using nails and your artificer skills to the point where the seam is visible, but there's no motion between it.
Basically, just putting rivets in.
More or less. This is as close to a weld as you're going to get without actually doing the weld.
Like, how... So, question.
Mhm.
Is welding a profession that Jeannie would understand? Like, how do you... Like, we don't have...
In a typical medieval society, no, but this is a medieval society that has ready access to various types of magic, so yeah, absolutely. There's no question that people that can create fire on demand, especially artificers, would be able to make devices that would function like a welder.
Yeah, she's like, well, I don't have any welding rods, so this is the best I can do.
I suppose it works. Now what do we do with it? We have a horse that seems to be walking. It's made of metal.
You can put Orson on it.
All right. And then Jeannie, like, pats the horse's nose and says, who's a good horsey?
And the horse does not answer you.
So she goes, what do you want to do, Carrots?
Is
We
the
want to
horse's
take it
name
back to the main
Carrots?
room.
It is now.
Should we take it to the main room and see if anything changed?
I mean, like, does it have a bit and bridle and all that?
It does not.
Okay.
It's just the animal itself.
Do those pieces of equipment exist in this workshop?
The metal pieces of them, you could scrounge them up.
Edmont,
You
let's
probably need
if-
like the leather and saddle and all that kind of stuff, leather fittings to.
Yeah, unless you guys are
bring it all
carrying
together.
a saddle, you're not going to have access to it.
Hold on.
Did you put
I
all
am-
the stuff from your horse before?
I
it
am
got stolen?
not carrying a saddle, but Jeannie is mentally putting that on the list of things to carry in the future because it has come up now, apparently.
Once in a while, we encounter a contingency that Genie has not planned for.
Damn, if only we could tell Sedgwick to go and fetch the
Saddle and put it
from the same stable and put it in
Put
your
it in the
bag. Alas.
Do you want Edmont? Do you want to try to animal handle this guy out of the room and see
With a
what happens?
successful animal handling check, you could lead this horse where you want it to go, just by kind of having your hand on its mane. Yeah, go ahead and give me that check.
You lead carrots. We'll follow.
I feel like Edmund should get to name the horse.
25.
I put the horse back together.
Yeah, but Edmund's the one who
You
has
did.
animal handling.
It took help.
How'd that check go?
25.
Yeah, no problem. You have putting your hand on the horse's mane. It's actually painful because it's made of metal, like the individual strands of hair. It's kind of like running your hand across steel wool.
Ugh.
But you're able to guide the horse, and it clops along behind you.
I guess we have a horse now. Of
But what do we do with it?
yeah, that's a great question.
Let's take him back to the main room, I guess.
Well, what's he gonna do in there?
Oh,
Well,
I guess we should check and see if the doors are unlocked going anywhere else.
The doors connected to the hallway you're currently standing in are still in place.
Okay.
The one
Just go
leading
on,
down into the face room, and then the one leading up into the room that glitters with gold.
We
It's a long walk back.
So are we leading
Guess
the
we
horse
walk-
back to which room? 1 or 12?
1?
yeah, I think so.
Well, Victor wants to go see if fixing the horse did anything in room 12.
I mean, we could just walk over and do that.
Yeah, that's what Victor
Yeah.
wants to do. If anybody wants to come with him.
Are you leading the horse back with you to 12 when you go?
I don't think we don't have a
Flesh
path that
room.
we could. Yeah, we have to go through the flesh room, which we can't carry the horse through.
No, the
Yeah,
horse
we
will not
can't
be able
do
to
that.
go up or down the walls.
Yeah, so back to 1.
Is Victor going on his own to room 12 alone?
Anybody coming with me? Just a peek.
I'll keep Victor out of trouble.
And when you return back to room 12, you now see that there are only 2 glowing hexagons carved into the channel in the center of the room.
At least
Victor will alert everybody in the brain that's not here that worked. We have a horse.
glittering gold room, and then this room I would assume is our
Glittering gold room first.
There we
Probably
go.
investigate the glittering gold room first, at least.
All right, so if we're gonna take a long rest, I'm not saying we necessarily have to, but if we're gonna try, we need to do it soon because we need to do it before the Mind Flayer is free, not after.
I tend to agree.
So here's the thing. Unless someone is carrying a diamond worth 100 gold pieces, I can't cast Restoration even if I pray to air and get the spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got gems that are worth 50 even out of 100.
Well,
Can you
2
think of-
diamonds worth 100 I could smash and we could do it, but... Or 100 total.
I don't know what the actual gems are, but Victor has 6 that are worth 50 gold pieces each.
They would have to be diamonds. If they're
Yeah,
not
we-
recorded as diamonds on your sheet, I'm going to assume that they're not diamonds.
Yeah, we never recorded what they actually were.
You would have if they were diamonds, though.
Yeah. Those are
So
just
that-
essential.
So even if I get new prayers from air, like, it'll have to wait at least a day until we get back to our real bodies and can source some diamonds.
Yeah.
Do you think carrots would help us in the fight with the Mind Flayer?
Can't be mind controlled. I don't know that it's. I mean, does the
Possibly.
horse have any apparent, like, disposition towards us?
Can't he, though? Edmont seems to be doing a pretty good job of it.
Looks fairly friendly towards you guys. It's remaining docile, and it doesn't seem to be agitated or stressed. And I mean, a real horse, if it kicks you in the head, you die, and this one's made out of solid metal. So,
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try climbing on it and see if it allows me to climb on it. Does it let me do that?
it does. Give me... There's not a riding skill in this game, right? It's just all
I think there
animal
might be. It might be considered a vehicle.
No,
I
that's
don't
not.
know if
If you're riding a horse, it's not a vehicle. A vehicle would be like driving a wagon or something.
Yeah.
Give me an animal handling check.
Dexterity or wisdom?
Just the standard check. I think a standard one is a wisdom.
Okay. I'm
It's all
not
about
trained
knowing
in it,
what to do with the horse.
but Evie's ridden horses before. I got a 14.
Okay. It's difficult because there's no bit bridle. You're not sitting in a saddle, but you do find you're able to get it to move where you want it to go. You're not really in a good environment to determine.
No, it's not. This is not ideal horse riding. I just wanted to see if it would let me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it supports your weight fine. Genie did a good job of matching the scene together.
I think we leave carrots here, and then we go try to figure out the face room, and then we come back and take a long rest.
I think we should do the glitter room first. We at least know what's in the face room.
Yeah, I'd go for the glitter room.
So glitter room and then long rest, or long rest and then glitter room?
I do a long rest after the glitter room, personally.
We're gonna have to carry our brain all the way through this place again.
Yeah, I don't see. We don't really have a way in there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring a brain with us.
Bring a brain to the glitter room. So you have to make another one. Yeah, that's 7 more.
That's a fun sentence. Bring a brain to the glitter room.
We have we do have a land, a non brain pile path to
Okay.
get back over here.
And like I said, actually counting individual brains in this pool is going to be difficult until you get down to just the last handful, because they tend to bob around each other and slip up and over. However, you've used quite a lot of brains at this point, and you have no fewer than 40 remaining.
I think that'll be enough. This might be the last one we have to do.
Yeah.
Pop it open.
So we get to an altar that requires 41.
What is the explosion radius on one of these brains?
If you're like not standing within 5 or 10 feet of the blast, like if you guys are standing back in the hallway and chucking it, because the first time you just tried to press it up against it and it blew up in your hands.
Oh,
Blew
So
up in
yeah, it's up
Edmont's
15
hand.
feet telekineticus. So
Yeah, I
Well-
think we've got the solution to that problem on lock now after Edmont's science.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, can we take the remaining brains and we prepare them and then we throw them at the mine?
I'm
do you
worried
really think
about.
the mind flayer won't be able to detonate them remotely?
I don't know. That's a good point.
So for the
Just fun
third
snacks.
room in a row is very, very hot indeed. The room itself is made out of stone, and once again, the room is not illuminated by any of the blue brain channels that you've seen. Instead, it's illuminated by this pool of molten gold.
Wow.
Is the source of the glittering. So that the columns here are spattered along all sides with flecks of gold that have spurted up out of the pool and then cooled along the rock. On the far side of the molten gold lies a sarcophagus with the image of some sort of humanoid, not able to see details from this far away, carved in the top of it. On either side of the sarcophagus are flanked a long, tall candle, the wax dripping and warping under the ambient heat of the room, although the candles themselves are not lit. And the force field.
All right.
All right.
So we're ready for something horrible to happen if I were to go over there and mess with that sarcophagus, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Did those ever come out of a sarcophagus?
So
These pillars, by the way, they go all the way to the ceiling. There's not a top to these.
I would,
5, 10, 15.
I would
I
just
think-
like to point out that I appreciate the fact that this room looks like a ghost. It's going to eat something.
It kind of does. It looks like Booberry.
Got 2 little eyes and a mouth.
I immediately recognize two of us can get over there easily, and I can get a third person back, but that would be it.
Yeah, I can
Mm.
Can
get
Edmont
across.
shadow step?
Edmond,
No,
before
not,
you go
not in
over,
the light, but I can wall run.
he can wall
before
run.
you go over there, let's make sure this pillar is not going to attack us.
No, it's a stone pillar. And it's not
Okay.
moving. Doesn't have anything dumb carved on it. It's not
Nothing on the
moving.
backside.
Well, we
Let's do
might be able to light those candles from here.
I mean,
I mean,
Can Genie hit him with a flame?
you
flame bolt?
gestures to Genie and says, "Yeah, you can get. That's a small target, but I'm pretty sure you could hit it, right?"
all right. I mean, I'll try.
With,
I mean-
how are you going to do it? With like a firebolt?
Yeah, firebolt.
It's going to be a very small AC, and if you miss, there's a chance you'll destroy the candle.
Okay, maybe we don't want to do that then.
Can you just mage hand over a ball of flame?
I gotta double check
Far
the
away.
radius on it. It's a range of 30 feet. 5, 10,
That's
15,
yeah. That's
25. Nope.
Too far away.
really.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Oh,
these
it's
are
up because it's up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can get to about here.
Yeah.
I guess I'm running over the. I guess I'm wall running, huh?
Do you want Victor to go with you, so you're not over there by yourself? Because remember, he can teleport. Don't forget, you could teleport, Victor.
Yes.
It does cost some resources to do, but if he wants to, I'm totally down
His
with that.
teleportation also has a variable range, so it's possible that he will not teleport far enough, which might be very bad.
Falling into the
That is-
molten gold will be immediately fatal. This is a no
I've
saving
been
throw.
told drinking molten gold is fine, actually.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah,
told
this campaign
that,
is-
and then what happened?
Everything was fine. Nothing was ruined.
Yeah, I mean it's a D8 times 10 distance.
I mean, you do you have to you throw it and then you can choose? Can you choose to teleport, or do you immediately teleport?
I don't think it's phrased that you immediately teleport. Let me double check
Is
that.
this a soul knife class feature? Because it sounds like
Yeah.
you really need to understand
Yeah.
the rules on this. So I got
He
my.
just got it. He just got it.
That's right. He had forgotten he had it last session.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got Tasha's right here. This
where is it?
is
Level 9 psychic teleportation.
Yep.
as a bonus action, you manifest one of your psychic blades, expend one psionic energy die, and roll it. Then throw the blade at an unoccupied space you can see. You can see all the spaces over there next to the sarcophagus.
Yeah, up to a number of feet away. So I don't. So I could throw it at my feet if I wanted to.
Okay, yeah. So he doesn't. So he's not going to just appear in the.
So the question is, can he roll the die and then decide not to throw the thing?
Well, it says he can throw it up to a number of feet equal to the 10 times the number. So he can, again, just choose to throw it 0 feet.
So here's the deal. Yeah, you can roll the die and then choose not to teleport, but you expend the psychic die anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So you use the resource to make the attempt, but the attempt cannot accidentally drop you into the vat of molten gold.
Yeah, I think that's the most important takeaway.
Yeah.
That's what I needed to make sure wasn't about to happen.
So I'm going to go ahead and cast Guidance on Edmont just because why not?
Sure.
Cantrip.
So Edmont doesn't have to spend any kind of resource, just kind of wall run, does he? As long as you
Nope,
can
I
get there
can-
in one dash action.
Edmont could get to the corner store and back in one dash
10.
action.
Right?
20, 25, 30.
That was as long as you
35.
ended your turn on solid ground.
Yeah, as long as I ended my movement on solid ground.
Yeah, so that's 3 dash actions. He needs it.
Well,
Yeah,
if
that
he
would
wants to
have-
use a keep.
I could absolutely go over here.
Yeah. Edmont.
My wall running.
You want me to come with you?
Yeah, let me make some space for you, because I haven't seen you do this before.
Can I stand that? Can I stand on this square?
Is there a rock there? Yeah, you can stand there.
It looks like it. Okay.
You're like teetering on the edge. I wouldn't get any closer than that.
Oh, really? 20 feet? Okay. Well,
This is why we checked.
So you expend the psionic die and you decide not to throw the knife.
he pulls out the knife. He flings it a couple times. He looks again and he goes, it's not gonna work.
Maybe if you run really fast,
throw
you
it
won't
over.
sink into the gold. All right, Edmont.
Sure.
From your position, you see these long, tall candlesticks, and like I said, they're soft and warping in the ambient heat of the room, but they're not themselves lit. The sarcophagus in front of you is also made out of gold. You can't tell if it's solid gold or gold plated, but the exquisite carving of the man on top is unsettling. There are ancient stories, especially since you've been in Darkhan, of people being mummified and buried in this. It's not a tradition where you're from, but you're aware of it. Here's the weird thing. If you were going to carve a visage of somebody into their sarcophagus in which they would be mummified, the visage itself would not look like a mummy, and this does. There is a
Yeah,
golden
Edmont.
mummy on top of the sarcophagus.
Yeah, Edmont drops down to this level. So she calls out to the others and says, "Hey, I think there's something really weird about this," and Edmont will explain that. Like, you would have the visage of if you were like somebody who wanted to have themselves interred like this, you would, make it look like you did in life. Yes. Well, this doesn't look like it was made in life.
Does it have seams?
I bet if you light the candles, it'll come to life, though.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
And then kill Edmund, who's over there by himself.
Can you light the candles and run really fast?
As an action, you could light one of the candles, so you could light it and then use your movement to try to get away from it.
Yeah.
But you'd have to pick one. You wouldn't be able to do both.
Well, could he do it where he lights one and then if nothing happens, he lights the other?
He can, but the waiting for something to happen is what we're afraid of here, is my understanding.
Yeah.
If he waits for something to happen and then something happens, it defeats the purpose of running away.
So
Yeah.
question for you, Edmont, and Jeannie's yelling across the chasm: does the sarcophagus have seams, or is it like a golden mummy laying on a golden dais?
It has seams in the sense of the sarcophagus itself could be pried open, and
Right,
Yeah.
it also has seams in the sense of the mummy itself, because it's made up of wrappings. Some of the wrappings themselves might be able to be pried apart from the lid of the sarcophagus.
What if you just light the mummy?
I don't think that gets us anywhere.
You want me to shoot at the sarcophagus with my firebolts?
No, let me try lighting these two. Let me try lighting these two candles and booking it out of there. Here's
Which
my
one-
plan.
Okay, let's
I'll
hear it.
light one,
Mhm.
and then I'll light this one, and then part of my movement, I can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 45 gets me back to here.
So you're gonna light this one, and then try to
Yep.
light this one as you're running past.
Well, question: Is there shadow being cast by this pillar that he could shadow step into?
I'm in bright light now. I can't.
No.
So Edmund,
I have to be able to see the area that I want to teleport to.
what mechanism are you using to light the candles?
I'm gonna light one or a torch.
Okay.
I can light one and then light the other one.
Okay.
So
So here's the
and
deal.
then
With a successful dexterity check, I will allow you to light the second candle on your way past it. If you fail the check, you will have to decide to stay and light it again or keep running without it being lit. Those will be your options.
okay.
You have guidance.
I know I have guidance. I'm gonna need it.
Also, you're blessed.
No, it only lasts a minute.
Oh. Also, they're both concentration.
13 on my dexterity check.
Okay. And where do you end up at the end?
Over here.
Roll initiative. Really? It's upsetting.
Probably better than what I rolled.
God.
Oh, I think
I've
got
given
it
up
like,
whining.
on the board.
I've given up whining about initiative rolls. They're always going to be bad.
By the time Edmund makes it back, you guys watch as he lights the candles and they burn and sputter for a moment, and then they split, each one into thirds, coming alive. Sort of like little candles in Mario, man. Those fortresses, the one that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we know the ones.
And they seem to
See
float
one.
and move
Yeah.
in the air. You see one?
We only see one.
I see one.
There they
Oh.
are.
There's 6.
Okay.
3 from each candlestick.
Ooh. Spicy.
B.
And they're
R.
kind of right
yes.
now, kind of swirling and moving in midair as though not affected by gravity. And as they split apart, the two bottom parts of the candle that were not lit a moment ago become lit. Who's at the top of my order?
Awesome.
Top of the order is Genie with Victor on deck.
Genie, what do?
Genie is going to cast. You know what? YOLO. We're gonna take a long rest after this. Oh, that's not what I want.
Well, we're going to try. It might not work. Nothing in this place has been aggressive. Everything has reacted to us, but that doesn't mean it'll let us rest.
Well, it basically, I have so few resources left that if we don't get a long rest, then it's not going to matter all that much.
Didn't a beef pillar sit on you?
Yeah.
That was me.
5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so I can get all of these jokers with a level, with an one level upcast shatter spell.
Okay.
And I guess the sarcophagus too.
It will affect the sarcophagus.
Yeah. Oh well.
I feel like that's one of the worst possible things you could do.
Well,
I feel like she doesn't care.
I feel like I've already done it. So I need a constitution saving throw from these Lumieres.
From all of the Lumieres.
He's also not
What's
the
my
one that's
DC?
been throwing psychic knives despite everyone telling him not to.
What's my DC?
17. And
I have 2 passes. I'll let you pick out which ones pass.
Okay, so that's 5d8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm guessing the ones on the rim, but I'm not the one casting the spell.
That is 31 damage, and we'll say that the 2 furthest. So this one and this middle one.
So 31, and then it's half on a pass?
Yes.
Okay.
15.
And if they're made out of inorganic material such as stone, crystal, or metal, they have disadvantage.
Candles are not made of inorganic material. They're made of wax.
Uh-huh. A non-magical object that isn't being
4
worn or
of
carried
them.
also takes the damage.
4 of them stop moving.
Mhm.
They hit the ground with a soft splat, and their flames sputter out. The other 2 take the shock of the shatter fairly well.
Mhm.
But they continue to move. However, they are bloodied. The sarcophagus cracks open along with its golden seam in the front. And after a moment, you see smoke start to billow up from inside of it. And you start to hear an echoey scream from inside of it.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
A new crack is formed in the surface of the mirror that is somewhat concerning.
Genie, what did you do?
Genie, moving or staying put?
I moved back over this way next to Ekon. Whoops.
Okay. Who's next?
Got
Yeah.
Victor with Evie on deck.
Like I've got 2 damage types. I've got fire and boom. Sometimes I can combine those 2, but like I didn't want to use fire on them. They're candles.
No, it's completely valid. I completely understand that.
Anyway, yeah. I've moved
Got
where I'm
Victor
going.
with Evie on deck.
So that's a ways away. I don't want to lose a real dagger.
They're not real daggers.
Wondering what's gonna happen in the room if I throw a dagger now.
Sedgwick just dies. Just hits him in the neck and he bleeds out.
No! I love Sedgwick. I don't want anything bad to happen to him.
I guess they seem to die pretty easily.
4 of them just did.
Yeah, so Victor is going to move behind the pillar.
You have a bow, don't you?
Oh,
I have like ice daggers.
I do have cold. I could do a cold dagger. The problem is I'm waiting for the mummy to come to life. I don't want to burn that on these little fire guys, and I can't use psychic damage. So
So what are you doing?
Victor is going to move behind the pillar and dodge.
Okay.
Got Evie with Edmont on deck.
Shout encouraging words to Evie and Ekon.
Well, my action was going to be to have Victor attack, but he has gone to hide in the corner.
To be clear, Victor's strategy of hiding in the corner did not result in him getting sat on by a beef pillar.
Well, that's true, but only because I warned him.
That's true.
Wow.
Ugh.
If
I mean,
if anybody's gonna get squashed by beef, it's me. God damn it.
Yeah, I guess so. I could throw a dart, but it would be at disadvantage.
Because of the range increment.
Yeah, beyond 20, it would be a disadvantage.
Okay.
I guess I'll try though. Why not?
You could just throw your regular dagger.
Well, I have darts. That's for the darts are for this situation where I'm probably not going to get it back.
But your dagger returns to your hand,
Yeah, but
and it's a +1.
But if it falls into the molten shit, then I don't think it comes back.
That's not likely to happen unless you say you throw it into the molten gold. It's not gonna land there.
Okay.
Even if you miss the creature, it's not gonna happen.
All right, so I'm trusting you on this. Okay,
He's the TM.
all right, I'll throw my magic dagger at that guy. I guess I'll steady aim because I'm not going to move.
Okay.
So this will be at advantage, but it's also disadvantage because it's outside of my.
Because you're using steady aim to counteract the disadvantage from
Yeah.
the range increment.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't suppose an 11 hits.
11 does not hit.
All right.
So, call your dagger back to your hand without issue.
All right. That's Evie can't move, so that's everything. Victor can't attack from where he is, right?
No, Victor can't see them where he is.
All right, and no one else has a ranged weapon, so no one else can attack.
You already used
Edmont
your
has a
bonus
bow
action.
that he looks like he's about to start pulling out.
Are you
Oh,
actually
yeah.
carrying it right now, though? You
It's
won't
not in hand, but it's slung on his back.
So Evie can't make you use a reaction to attack with a weapon you're not carrying.
Correct.
All right, next time.
We
Okay.
So that's Evie. So we've got Edmont with Ekon on deck.
Yeah, Edmont pulls his bow, takes an aim. He's gonna put an arrow toward this one.
Okay.
That is a 13.
A 13 will hit.
Holy. It's looking at 7 points piercing damage.
All right.
It's still moving. Edmont's gonna do a second arrow toward it.
Okay.
That's significantly more to hit. 8 points piercing damage from that second arrow.
And that's enough. The candle hits the back wall with a soft splat, and its light sputters out.
I'm gonna scoot over in this direction to try and get a good bead on the other one.
Okay.
Let me just draw out a line real quick.
These pillars do obstruct your view, but I don't think there's any spot along the edge here where you can't target wherever you want in the back.
That's it, yeah, because I got a pretty good line of sight right there.
You can draw any corner of your square to any corner of these squares, pretty much.
Yeah, I've got that right there. So, yeah, it's good. That's a good bead for any other. Let me just mark off those 2 arrows, which Cedric is very confused by.
All right, who's next?
We've got Ekon with white token on deck. So I'm going to need a DC 17 Dexterity saving throw against Sacred Flame.
How about a 7?
No. So that's 7 radiant damage.
Very good. And yeah, the thing warps and drips to the ground inside of Air's sacred radiance.
That's all I got. I think I'll join Victor in Team Cover.
Cowering.
Team Coward.
Who's next?
White token with Genie on deck.
Okay.
Now that I've
gets
so
me
help-
here.
Now that I've helpfully drawn out a line of sight, his work in line of sight blasts me in the face. But not so much.
Genie.
Huh?
I have a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
For 2 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And then 60 gets me back here. candle crosses the room easily.
I thought you were going to say and then 60 points, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
No, 60 points of movement. 50 got me there, and then it can move 10 feet away. It swoops in at you, and as it does, it's almost as though it licks out with the flame of its candle. Those of you watching, you can swear that for just a moment, as the candle swoops through Jeannie's personal space and swoops back as it starts heading back towards the sarcophagus, that her skin tone and her hair color look slightly less vibrant than they did a moment ago, whereas the flame of the candle burns all the more brightly.
Oh no!
I'm guessing it's more like flyby attack, so no provoking attack of opportunity.
Correct. It's got flyby.
Yeah, figured as much.
This is like the movie The Mummy.
What was your first clue?
Who's next?
Is that it for the
Yeah,
white
the
token?
yeah,
Got
the candle's
Genie with
swooping back.
Victor on deck.
Could a is this guy? So if I step on the edge here, where Victor stood previously, would he be in range of a sword burst? Is he
What's the range of
within
the sword burst?
5 foot? It's a 5 foot radius, so it's like it would hit all these squares.
If you
But
stand
I
here,
don't
yeah.
know. Yeah, but I didn't know if he was.
Or you could
You know.
stand here. Either one.
Yeah, wait. I just didn't know if he was too high.
No, he was at about the level of your head.
Right. Okay. So I need a dexterity saving throw from this little guy. DC 17.
Good at these in theory.
Get wrenched.
15.
He fails.
Get wrenched.
So
Wrench, the enemy of fire.
that's 11 points of force damage.
And that's
Weak
enough.
to wrench damage.
Snuff
get my
out the
color
thing's
back?
flame. And this one doesn't just splat harmlessly against the stone. It falls down into the molten gold and melts away and is no more.
All right, I'm
All
step
the
back.
while, smoke and screams are billowing forth from the sarcophagus that is cracked open.
All
I
right.
don't like this room. This is in
Uh,
the top 10 of the worst rooms we've ever been in.
Did I get my color back?
It's hard to say because it was a very subtle effect. You'll never know
Okay.
for sure.
Never know for sure.
There's just a little piece of you that's just gone forever, and you're just gonna have to get over it.
It's it's Jeannie's lingering sense of morality. It's that last little bit of morality she had.
Well, that's why you have your big sister.
So is the wall still up?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it is.
Are there still candles? The candles there are still there. They're just shorter now.
There are no candles there anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, you blew them the fuck up.
I thought you said that when they split, they were still part of
Is
the
the
candles. as well.
screaming anything intelligible?
No, just screaming in pain.
Edmont, go save him.
Yep. I don't
Are
like
we
this,
still-
but all right. Are we on initiative?
No, not anymore.
Go ahead and take guidance.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Gets me there.
Edmont.
Yeah.
Going back to the sarcophagus, the shatter spell hasn't broken the structure of the thing. It's pushed the top of the lid slightly catty corners. So there's like enough space you could like slip a playing card or something into it. However, smoke is billowing forth from it and the echoey screams. And you can tell from the illumination inside that flames are consuming the inside of the sarcophagus.
Edmond takes a deep breath and then moves over to shove the lid of the sarcophagus aside as fast as he can.
Opening
Like
it.
you opening or closing it?
Opening it.
Okay.
Somebody being burned alive inside.
Give me a strength
Oh.
check.
Guidance.
Yep.
Can I aim
Oh!
from here?
That was a
that was a
15 on
15.
die.
Support?
Yeah, 15, 19, 18
So,
altogether.
Edmont, go ahead and take 4 points of fire damage.
Owie.
As you lean into this sarcophagus and you shove with all of your might. And you sustain minor burns on your hands and upper arms. There's a loud clank as the thing hits the back wall. And inside, this pillar of flame erupts. And you can see a man laying there, writhing in pain as he's consumed by fire. Just
Victor,
shouting
water!
in agony.
Authorizing the water.
Victor, water!
Okay, let's see if I can teleport over there, I guess. doing a long rest, right?
No,
That's the
we
idea.
haven't taken a long rest.
No, I
yet.
mean after this.
We're
Yeah.
gonna try, I guess.
Now that's one dice, didn't work. 40 feet. Does 40 feet get me there?
Yeah, it gets you there. This is only a 20-foot gap.
Okay. So Victor teleports over,
Okay.
Noctis style.
unhands his decanter of endless water,
Okay.
points it at the sarcophagus.
Now, are you going to blast it with the geyser? With the fire hose?
I mean,
Remember, there's 3 settings. There are 3 settings to
four
this.
settings, no. I guess the setting 2 would be like a constant flow.
Okay. That's where you just kind of like pour out some number of gallons of water, right?
Yeah.
There's a trickle, a pour, and then the geyser.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a
The
he
room
says
has begun to flood at an alarming rate. I suppose we will send for towels.
fountain produces 5 gallons of water.
I'm sure they'll be able to find buckets.
You
Cedric's
douse the creature,
commentary is the best part of this adventure.
and the burning flesh and the burnt and charred paper of the mummy and the thing's skeletal figure underneath. It's a horrific sight to behold. And it stops screaming as the flames die away. And it reaches out a hand, one towards Edmont and one towards Victor.
Take it.
Please, I beg you. I beg you. Edmont, you take the
What do
thing's
you
hand.
need? Yeah.
Victor, do you?
Victor's gonna go no on that one.
So Victor backs away with the decanter. Edmont,
Sir.
make me a charisma saving throw. You can choose to fail
Okay.
this if you want.
I'm going to fail it.
You're going to fail it.
Yeah.
Roll
That's
a
a bold
d10.
choice.
What's that?
Roll a d10.
Roll a d10. 2.
You must grasp this thing's hand for at least 2 rounds.
Sure.
Do you want to hold on longer than that or break away after 2 rounds?
I'll hold on to it for 2 rounds.
And then that's it?
I'll make a judgment after that time has passed.
We'll assume that that time has passed.
He's still screaming and begging for some need.
You are getting no further information. You must make the
I will
decision.
hold on. I'll hold on to it
For 2 rounds?
for longer.
How long? How much longer in terms of number of rounds?
Let's say 10.
10 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big number.
60 seconds.
Is Edmund dead?
We'll see. Edmont,
Sir.
41 points of radiant damage.
Ooh!
Oh boy.
I'm bloody.
Victor, you watch, and you can see the color drain from Edmont's face and his hair and his eyes, and after a few seconds, his clothes even. Edmont, you don't feel much of anything. You just feel holding on to this guy, but watching him, you see parts of his skin reform. His hair grows back into place. And then the wrappings of the mummy start to reform around his torso and his limbs. And at the end of a full minute, the mummy lets go. I return now to rest.
Rest well, friend. I don't even know who you are.
I would grant one request before I go.
Name it.
No, he says he will grant one request.
Oh.
You okay there, Edmund?
We don't even
Edmund
know
is
what
not looking okay.
We wouldn't even know what to ask. Yikes. It's a tough one.
It's all you, buddy.
No, I'm thinking about how best to word it.
The creature is speaking in no known language. Nonetheless, both of you understand its words.
Tell me how to keep my mind about me under the light of the full moon.
What's the goal of the request?
Edmont wants to know if he can. Edmont wants to know if he can keep his sanity and keep control of himself in his werewolf form. The way he sees it, the Keltistravi figured it out. Edmont wants to be able to figure it out.
Okay. The mummy reaches out and draws a sigil in your hand. Where his finger touches your flesh, it smokes and burns, but you don't feel any pain. And when it's done, the glowing sigil remains for a moment and then vanishes into the skin tone of your palm. And he tells you that Kyorzo will be bound to grant you this boon. And then sinks back into the sarcophagus.
Who's Kyorzo?
Well, I think he's the mind flayer.
I think it's the prisoner we're trying to free.
That's pretty terrifying if he could grant that request for you.
Yeah. This is a very powerful being. And probably not entirely trustworthy.
Edmont turns about and then
Is that
takes a
field
couple
still open?
hops, takes a couple hops and then dashes back across.
Okay.
Genie starts like patting him in the face. You look a little pale there.
Edmont's
Like-
shaking his hand, like he still feels it there, even though it's the mark on his hand, even though it's vanished. He still kind
This
of feels
barrier
it.
still here?
You didn't feel any pain, but yeah, you can. Looking down, I mean, you can still kind of feel the mummy's finger touching yours.
Yeah,
Did you guys close the sarcophagus before you left?
Yes.
yeah.
Victor, how did you get back?
I spent 2 psionic die to teleport.
And yes, force field vanishes, revealing the room beyond.
So I'd suggest now is when we go back to where Ghost Dad is and try and take a long rest.
Ghost Dad.
there's-
Ghost Dad.
Yeah.
So we actually have one extra room here, right?
Potentially. But that's a puzzle.
So we had 2 left, right? Or did we have
Yeah.
3? I'm trying to remember. Like before we solved this room, did we have 2 or?
We
we
had
had
two.
two.
We had 2 left.
We had 2 left. Maybe after we solve all of them, we have to solve one last one. Maybe the pool
Well,
itself.
we haven't solved this room yet, and we have no idea what's in this room, so that might be our last 2.
Looking in this room, you can see that there are 6 floor-to-ceiling pillars, and one of them is separated from the rest by one of the channels in the floor.
Well, nothing good happens around pillars in this place.
So sick of pillars.
I think we return back to the entryway and
Yeah.
take a rest.
Does Edmont like actually match his token now with the white hair? He got the white edge hair now.
We
So
get it,
where's-
you're edgy.
Where's Ghost Dad? I don't know.
It's the
I
Guardian of
don't know
Faith.
which-
Oh, okay,
Oh.
all right. So it's just. Gotcha.
All right, how much? What's our time situation at?
We haven't
going-
been in here for.
Attempt to take
We've
a long
been down
rest.
here.
Yeah.
We've been down here for about like 3 hours tops so far.
Go ahead and take the benefits of the long rest.
Ooh.
Okay, give me a minute. I want to figure out if I want to swap any of my spells out.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to burn some key points for that
Spend your
to
dice if
heal
you have
up
to.
here.
All right, so I need
Yeah, I don't have the material components to cast Greater Restoration. Unless someone is holding out 100 GP worth of diamond dust.
10 plus.
Plus 4.